Nice, right?
That sounds good.
It's not COVID. Welcome back to Started from the Bottom. I am your host, Susan Peterson. Today, I'm joined in studio by Ngarupe. This is our episode we like to call Cherry Pick, where we pick our highs, our lows, our favorite stories from the week, and share them with you. Kim, how you doing?
I'm good. Do you remember when there was a time where it felt scary to cough?
Yeah.
You know?
Like right after COVID?
Sneezing, coughing. It was like, especially when like mask stuff started getting loosened, like, and you were the only one not wearing a mask, and all of a sudden it's like...
And then you'd be like, I just have allergies.
You're like, I just took a test this morning. I'm fine.
Yeah. I still feel the need to clarify that it's not COVID.
Yeah, it feels like that.
It is a sinus infection.
Which can be worse.
They just linger.
You're in for the long haul.
I'm in for the long haul. I'm just hoping it goes away by the time I go to Europe.
Yeah, you got a few weeks.
14 days from today.
14 days?
Yes.
That is so crazy.
So I'm going on plant-based diet.
Wait, we're going to be gone the same.
Where are you going?
Weekend. It's when I'm going to California on the 11th.
There we go. Okay. Kim, how was your week?
It was really good. I don't remember most of my week, actually. So, this has never happened. You grew up in Washington. I grew up in Utah.
Yeah.
My kids had an official snow day on Wednesday.
We actually had them a lot in Washington.
I have never had a single one, all K through 12, not one time. And I mean, Utah like really has mellowed out a lot snow-wise, global warming and all that. But when I was a kid, what we're experiencing now, that felt like every winter. Yeah. And we never got a snow day.
It would be 2-hour delay, right?
We didn't get delays.
Really?
We never had a delay.
Wow. They just didn't care
They just were like, you'll just slip and slide all the way to school. You'll be fine.
Good luck. You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a snow day on Wednesday.
It was as if it was Christmas all over again.
Okay, but I was watching the news, and it was because the snow came on way too quick.
Quick and late. So it froze. And I live on the hill, and so it started snowing Tuesday night. Yep. And then it went through the night, and Wednesday it snowed, and then it was stopped for a while, and then it started snowing again. Remember in the afternoon? Mm-hmm. Okay. There were so many people, because it started snowing when it was getting dark and it iced almost immediately, and people were flying like off the road near my house, like crashes everywhere. No joke. Like coming down to where the like T's. Yeah. Sliding up into like the signs and stuff, and then trying to make that turn, hitting. I mean, we had at one point like 6 cars stuck. Just like.
Do you feel a responsibility when that happens?
I didn't do anything except it's hard to not watch. Like all those windows in my front room, like me and Marcus and Colette were just like standing there watching it all happen and being like, slow down. Like, yeah. But Davis went out and was like helping people get dug out. Like, I mean, most of them we couldn't, but there were some that they kind of like were able to kind of like to get going enough that they could kind of get where they needed to be. But a few of them were stuck like overnight and just had to like get someone to come pick them up and then come get their car later. But yeah, I mean, a little bit. I guess I didn't feel tons of responsibility, but he fulfilled that. So maybe if he hadn't, I might have.
Maybe.
Probably not.
There was like 100 accidents on the freeway overnight, I heard.
That's insane.
Like 100. But then I had gone up to an event in Salt Lake on Tuesday night.
Did you stay overnight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, smart. We had already booked a hotel, so we just stayed the night and came home the next day, and it was like noonish when I left, and there were still accidents. Yeah. Like a bunch of accidents. Yeah. Because the plows were doing their best, but there was literally like 12 inches everywhere overnight.
It came down really fast. Like, that was the crazy thing is like, at one point it felt like there was nothing, and the next thing it felt like there was 2 feet. Like,
but I was telling Christian, I'm like, the Weather Channel's The Boy Who Cried Wolf, because how many times this year have they been like extreme weather warning?
This is going to be this one's going to be the biggest storm ever.
The biggest storm you've ever experienced. Yeah. And then you wake up and it's like an inch on the ground.
Exactly.
Nothing in the mountains. Oh, it blew over.
This one was real, though.
Well, I was looking at the ski reports. Most ski places had 24 inches of new snow.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
Within, what was it, like 17 hours or something?
Yeah. Wild. And then a lot of the canyons
were
closed. But Jackie said the snow was, she's been going up all week. She said the snow was really
I tried to go Thursday and I didn't make it, but I'm going to try and go again this week.
Did you go to Adele?
I did.
How was she?
It was, without trying to sound like
just do it.
Out of control.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
Life-changing. Did you touch her?
No, I didn't touch her. I'm not a touchy person. But
You're not a touchy person. I think we've hugged once in our whole friendship.
I can be a hugger. I can get down with a hug, but I'm not like a casually touchy person.
Like you're not just going to grab her robe.
Yeah.
Or her dress as she wears.
And like I have friends that would like grab my hand or something. Like I would never like reach to grab someone's hand or like touch you inappropriately or appropriately.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah, neither. No, but it was really good. She's like, I mean, I guess I've gotten snippets of this over the year, but she's really funny. That was fun. And it was also just such a small venue that it felt really like connected. And also her voice is powerful and she sounds exactly live as she does recorded, which I feel like is crazy. And they put on a good show. I mean, it was fun. It was everything you would expect like someone like her to do. And it was really cool. My sister and I were like in awe the whole, like it was just 2 hours straight. She doesn't do an intermission. She just sings and sings and sings. And at 2 hours we were like, I would do 2 more hours. Like it was just like a party. It was fun.
Is this it? Is this her last?
So we were originally the very last show of her original residency. It was going to be 3 months.
Yeah.
But when she canceled and rescheduled, she added an extra month. So she has 4 more weekends. So 8 more shows. But originally we were like the last show.
I have such FOMO, but I know I'm not going to make it down in time.
No, yeah.
Plus people are paying like $10,000 for one ticket right now.
I know. It's insane.
It's insane.
She was joking about the price of tickets because she brings someone down from like the very top balcony. And she was like, ticket prices are crazy. Sorry, I can't afford to move you all up front or, just like.
Oh, so sweet.
But yeah, she's fun. She walks through the crowd. She like talks to people. She wants, it seemed like she wants you to be a part of it. And that was really fun. And the musicians were amazing.
What was your favorite song?
I think the one that I don't know if this was my favorite, but the one that was like really, like a crazy show was like Set Fire to the Rain. Like they had actual water coming around and then the piano lit on fire. It was just like, it just became like a really big like production. And that one was like, but they were all really good. There were times where she just was sitting alone and just singing like a cappella and times that she was like, and then there were other times that it was like a really big production. So it just felt like you kind of got everything. And I mean, she has only like a few up-tempo songs, but there were a few that you were like standing and dancing and it was fun. It was really fun.
And she's not going to do any more concerts.
I don't know. My sister was looking on the way home and she found a world tour, but I didn't ask her about it. So, it was like, I don't know. You know, when you're like, is that real? Is that not real? So I don't know. We were going to look more into it and then we forgot we got talking about something else. But
Adele, don't make this your last. Let me look.
No, it was fun. It was really fun. And we ate a lot of really delicious food in Las Vegas.
You know what? Where'd you guys go?
We stayed at the Park MGM, which was fun. We went to Best Friend, which is like Roy Choi. He did Kogi, like all the food trucks in LA. And then the Chef Show on Netflix, if you ever watched that, he does that with Jon Favreau. And it's just a Korean barbecue place that he has, and that was good. And
okay, my week was pretty chill. Abby and I recorded a bunch of episodes on Wednesday or Thursday because we're getting ready to again, we're banking them. So when you and I are both out of town, it'll be great.
Yeah, they'll be ready to go.
We had really good people on the podcast this week. And we were able to get Shantae and Alexis on for Friday, which was awesome.
Those are the Let's Talks.
Let's Talk, sis.
Yeah.
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 They did great. They're so smart. It was so fun. And then my friend Lacey had a gala for her.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
What was that for?
I'm going to get it wrong because my brain is a little fried. Her foundation, the Lace Hair Foundation.
Oh.
Where she gives hair to women who are going through things like cancer, like cancer survivors, or they have like an autoimmune disease. One of the girls they spotlighted was in a domestic violence situation. All her hair fell out from that.
From the stress.
Mm-hmm. And so it was just to raise money for that. And it was way fun.
I know you never realize my mother-in-law had cancer, and you never realize how first of all, how expensive wigs are.
So expensive.
And also just
like
what a difference that can make to how they feel about themselves. And not always, but like when you're in chemo and you feel like your skin's gray and you're sallow and like you have no hair and it looks like you're dying. You know? Then to like put on a wig, all of a sudden, like it's almost as if it like brightens up their whole.
Yeah. Yeah, good wigs there's cheap wigs you can get on Amazon, but they're not meant for every day.
Yeah.
It's like a switch it up kind of thing.
Right, just like for a night out type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. There were a bunch of Grizzly games, and our Grizz are on a losing streak right now.
I know. Did you go to any of them?
No, because of my...
Because you were sick.
because my non-COVID.
Yeah. From now on, I'm COVID or non-COVID?
Yeah, it's non-COVID. No, I didn't go to any. Chris went to a few.
He did?
Yeah. He said they sucked it up. Stink it up.
They lost them all.
Mm-hmm. I know. They'll get there. They will get there. What does your week look like this week?
Ooh, it's a good question. Have I looked forward?
No, I'll tell you about mine. How about that?
I'll be thinking of mine while you're going. You go.
Well, tomorrow, meaning Tuesday, is the last day of the month. Did you know that?
I mean, I did, but I didn't.
Yeah, so Abby and
It's always hard. February is always rough.
It goes fast.
It's all of a sudden like it's the 20th and then it's over.
Yeah, and when I get into March, my tolerance for winter goes way down.
My tolerance goes down, especially if it's snowy and rainy. But if I can get a few of those like warm, sunny days, then I can like deal with a random one.
Then you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, if it's like this, I'll be pissed.
We're pissed.
I mean, I'm already kind of pissed. It was cold. Actually, it was cold in Las Vegas, like freezing.
Was it?
Yeah. No, it wasn't warm. We didn't see sun at all. We didn't.
Oh my gosh.
But
so there was no like poolside hangs?
No, you would have like frozen. It was literally 40 degrees.
That sucks.
And then it rained a little bit last night. But did you see the snow in LA?
Yeah.
That was insane.
Wild. Talk about a snow day.
Yeah, talk about a snow day. Yeah, that's true.
They said it's been 30 years since it snowed out there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think I have much going on this week. I'm going to be gone the next weekend.
The 4th?
So I'm leaving the 10th.
The 10th, where are you going? California?
California.
LA?
No, Palm Springs for tennis.
I'm so jealous right now.
So it'll be warm and beautiful. And
Palm Springs sounds so nice.
I know.
I was actually talking to my sister over the weekend. Her husband just got a job with Alaska Air.
Yeah.
He's a pilot. And I'm like, this is the last February where we don't have a Palm Springs trip planned.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. We're old enough now. Like, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. I honestly, I just have to get somewhere warm at some point in the winter, or I think things really start to...
Yeah, they get dark.
I saw this meme the other day that was like, I moved to Florida because I had seasonal depression, but then realized I just had regular depression. And I was like, oh, I wonder if it's just regular. No.
It might be. The sun setting later, though. That's nice.
Yeah, that does feel nice.
I I'm on day, let me see here. 62 of 75 hard right now.
Yeah, do you think you're just gonna keep going when it's?
Yeah, I mean, I orchestrated it to end right before my Italy trip. So yeah, when I get back, I'll just
take a break and then.
Yeah. That's why it's not 75 hard, 75 soft. That's why I did the soft, because it's easy to keep going. Sinus infections are those, like Abby probably, have you ever had a sinus infection, Abby? Oh, she's 20. She's young. She has. Up until I got one for my first time, I was like, just freaking blow your nose. What's the problem?
Yeah, it's like you don't understand that it's a real thing until you experience one. Right. And then you're like, oh, this is.
And then you have one and you're like, am I dying? Like, is this how it starts to end?
Is this the beginning of the end?
Exactly. Exactly. So I need a trip right now. But.
The thing I do like about yours is past a cold, but the thing I like about a good cold where you sound sick is that like I can get out of anything, just by being like, oh yeah, I'm just like feeling awful. Like, I'm so sorry. And it's like, actually I'm okay.
With a sinus infection,
but you really do feel awful.
You feel like crap, but you almost have to keep going.
Yeah, because it just seems like you have a cold.
Yeah, and you can't lay down. Otherwise, like, stuff will start to settle in your lungs, and it's just not...
Well, and you can't breathe if you lay down, because it's like everything just goes right up. I know that this is my privilege talking. I know it, but this is really hard for me. It's hard. All right, should we get into some stories? I'm sorry, that was a disgusting cough. Oh. This is exciting. Remember I was telling you about that, the vitamin guy on TikTok and Instagram? Yeah.
The hot one I showed you, Justin Kelly. He messaged me on Instagram. Yes. What? Well, okay, let me clear. I messaged him first.
But he responded.
Okay,
that feels like a big deal.
And he followed me back. I followed him. He followed me back. I'm going to start asking him about NADs. Yeah. We did IVs yesterday, and Chris did NAD. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
I don't even know what it stands for exactly, but it's this wild IV treatment. It's nicotinamide adrenaline. It's NAD is what it is. It stimulates cell regeneration in your body.
Oh, nice.
I didn't do what Chris did because I'm sick.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep telling you that I'm sick.
Are you sick?
Yeah. And it's hard to, like, when you get it in your IV, it's actually hard on you. Like, you like feel a lot of pressure. You start sweating. Yeah. But it's supposed to.
What does it help with?
Cell, like, when you get older, your cells start to like break down.
Sure.
And then they copy the breakdown part.
Yeah.
This like gets them back to fresh and new. Yeah.
New cells.
Young cells. So I had messaged Justin about NAD because he had talked about pill. And then he didn't tell me what I wanted to know. So I'm going to have to message him again. But
you've got a conversation going. So that shouldn't be hard.
He's in Texas. I had been telling Abby, we need to get down to Texas to do some podcast episodes. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah.
Maybe get him on.
Maybe. We'll
Ask
see.
some questions.
Yeah, you know how I am. I'll talk, though.
We both are.
Yeah, I'm actually interested because he's very smart with vitamins.
Yeah. I always just want to, like, sit and talk to, someone like that knows a lot about something that I don't, but that's interesting. You know what I mean? Like, I feel the same about skincare. I could talk to Lisa or Kristen, who I go to at Skin Boss forever, just, like, asking what's a peptide? What is it? Same kind of thing with vitamins. Like, I know very little about them, but I would like to.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Padres news. Do you care about that?
A little bit. I looked at it, and honestly, as a Dodger fan, I was like kind of pissed.
Oh, let's talk. No, there's a ton of actual baseball news coming out right now because of spring training, but notice I only picked the Dodger or the Padres stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it was pretty targeted on your end.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that they were blocking people from buying tickets last year.
You didn't realize that? Okay, so what happened, if you're listening, during the playoffs, Dodgers and Padres played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Padres beat Dodgers. Did you know that? Or am I?
Yeah, I mean, I vaguely remember it.
Yeah. For like the first time in forever.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen often. It probably won't happen ever again.
But what usually happens when the Padres play the Dodgers at home, it becomes this whole thing where Padres or Dodgers fans take over the stadium. Yeah, they buy all the seats. So they did a geo fence around anything north of
San Diego County, really.
San Diego County, and you couldn't buy tickets.
Yeah. Which I think, okay,
and so
I will say that's really fun for the San Diegan crowd. You know
yes,
what I mean?
And the owners, like everyone was so excited to just have a full San Diego crowd. I have a friend who works in the ticket office, and it was their idea, and like the team loved it. Like I would say it was so fun to win in front of a mostly home team. Totally. Mostly home crowd, yeah.
That being said, my Dodger fans were probably very sad.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, like...
The thing is, I could see the Dodgers doing the same thing.
Do you remember this happened here locally, though? I'm talking about in Utah. It would have been 20 years ago when the Utes started getting actually a good team together for football. And it was Urban Meyer, before he was disgraced across the nation as who we know him now. He started out as a head coach at the Utah.
I mean, that was really like his kickoff into like...
Yeah, that was his first head coaching job.
And he did amazing. That's the first time they went undefeated.
Yeah, and I want to say he broke our heart first. So all of you guys out there who are mad at him, just know.
Just know we knew a long time ago.
We knew a long time ago. But he started to name BYU. So BYU and Utah have had this amazing rivalry, but BYU's always dominated. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I felt like University of Utah started to dominate a little
consistently.
Bit. Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of what's happening with the Padres-Dodgers right
now. Is that the point you're trying to make? That is hilarious. I just fell right into that one. I'm going to go with no.
Could be.
But we'll see. If so, we'll be really sad.
I mean, so two things to kind of prove my point here.
Whatever point you've got, I've got 10. Let me just start.
Well, I'm sure you know about old Manny.
Yeah, I saw that.
He signed a
10... That is exciting.
Yeah, 10-year, 3... I'm just happy when people get a good contract.
Yeah.
So 10-year, $350 million contract. No way to trade. No arbitration. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know, baseball contracts are some of the most complicated.
No, I didn't know that.
In sports, yeah.
Just like all the fine print.
All the fine print, because there's so many different ways with the trades and how many games that are played. Yeah. And yeah, like those are the top, like if you're going to become a sports agent, those are like the top contracts.
Like would they even go into like, I mean with pitching, it's even like pitch counts and stuff, isn't it? I don't know.
And when you get a day off and all that stuff. They're the most complicated is what I've heard. So.
But honestly, I guess I don't know what like international soccer / football pays, but baseball contracts are huge.
Yeah, because they don't, and I can't remember, you know what? Who cares? We don't have a lot of guys listening.
No one's fact checking us on this kind of crap.
In football, in hockey, and in MLB or in basketball, they all have league contract caps.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So like, but in baseball they don't. You just you pay a fine when you go over.
Oh, like yeah, okay.
And so the Padres, let me look at what their salary cap is, what it's called. But the Padres salary that they pay out. So, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Their payroll table. My favorite thing when I'm watching baseball is to just like look at
what
everyone makes, because most people are making $700K a year. That's what rookies start out at. So a lot of the pitchers that come up are making $700K. Then you have a shortstop who's not even playing like every single, like you're not doing all the work.
Yeah.
And he's making $35 million a year.
I have heard though that baseball can be one of the hardest to, and I don't have any facts or like I don't know how to cite this, but I have heard that baseball can be one of the hardest to play professionally at the highest league at the MLB. Mm-hmm. Just because there's so many AA, AAA teams, and
it's like winning the
just
lottery.
Kind of can get like stuck there for years and years and years.
So their total salary is $233 million.
Oh wow, annually
for 2023. But they're also the Padres. They're signing 16-year-olds in other countries. So you sign them to your double A's. Yeah. 16-year-old prospect, Ethan Salas. No, this is in 2021. Never mind. For $5.6 million. Can you believe that? 16 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Left-handed hitter.
From where? Does it say?
Venezuela.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Okay, I'm going to go back to that again. They did sign a 16-year-old catcher.
Same guy. He's a catcher.
Yeah. So they've signed him twice.
My softball days, I was also a catcher.
You were a catcher?
Well, I would pitch sometimes, but then I would sometimes start crying because it was a lot of pressure.
Catchers call the game, right?
So that mainly I was a catcher, but
it's like the center for football. You call the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have good eyes.
Okay, so go Padres.
Don't, actually. Honestly, I'm all about everyone doing good. That's
Kimmy.
But if they're playing each other,
I'll go for the Dodgers. You go for the Padres.
I don't know if I can do that, but
vice versa. My brain's. I have too much cold medicine in my brain. Okay, Can we talk about Tommy Fury?
Let's talk about it.
And Molly May. Do you remember them?
Who's Molly May?
Okay, Tommy Fury. He was on. It was the last season of Love Island that you and I watched. Molly May and Tommy.
Wait, this guy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Wait. I didn't realize that.
Okay. So it's the second article that I sent you. Yes. It'll show her, Molly May. They just had a baby and baby girl. They named her Bambi, which I'm obsessed with. How cute.
Wait, we loved her.
Yes, we loved them together.
I forgot about that.
Yes. Bambi. It's the cutest girl name ever.
They named her Bambi.
Bambi. He just beat Jake Paul.
Today.
Yeah. Well, we're recording on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Saudi Arabia. They were supposed to play 3 times. But they're saying it's
kind of controversial. Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it, but
I don't ever watch fights. That's
I
not
don't
a
know
thing that
how
my husband's into. But
yeah, I don't know how he beat.
But
judges scored it 76-73 twice for Fury and 75-74 once for Paul. So it looks like he beat him. And then even in here, Paul says, "I lost. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying it wasn't my best performance. I fell flat."
This is his first loss, yeah?
Yes. And that was the thing, is this was his biggest fight to date. Up until now, he's never actually boxed a boxer. It's been retired.
It's always been
MMA fighters, a YouTuber, a former NBA player. So Fury, the half-brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, an 8-0 record with 4 knockouts headed into Sunday's fight. So he comes from a boxing family.
Yeah, if I remember right, didn't he always... Was Tyson on too, or did they just always talk about Tyson? I can't remember.
I think that they just talked about him.
I think I think you're right.
Did he come in on the family day? I think he might have.
He might have.
We need to rewatch that season.
Rewatch. Except someone was telling me that this season that's on currently is really good.
Okay.
So
Abby's watching it. She's saying yes. How many episodes are we in? What do you watch it on? Yeah.
I think I'm on like 3, probably.
Is it UK?
Yeah, it's UK.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to download them all for my trip.
Yeah, you should.
Just get way into it.
What's your seat situation?
Delta One.
Oh, yes. I would like some pictures.
Okay. I'm actually just planning on sleeping the entire time.
Yeah.
Because it makes a big difference.
I never sleep on planes, but I flew lay flat to Japan, and I've never slept better in my life.
Yeah. It changes our life.
It also just made it so that you could like get there and start moving. There was very little like recovery. I feel like usually I'm like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, you're dead. So Tommy beat Jake Paul in Saudi Arabia.
Bambi's probably so excited.
Bambi's just
Molly
a few
May's
weeks
super
old.
excited.
Molly May is so cute. If you look at Molly May's Instagram, there are really cute pictures of Tommy holding a baby shirtless.
All right.
Okay.
You know how to get me.
So here goes Kim, Molly May. I know what's Jake's brother's name? Jake Paul. What's the other Paul?
Oh, Logan Paul?
Logan Paul. I know he's a podcaster, and he's like, I'm a podcaster now too, but I just don't love the Paul brothers.
I know very little about them, except that my kids are obsessed with Prime. Like, I don't even think Jane's, when I've gotten it for her, I don't think she actually really drinks more than like a few sips, but like is constantly talking about Prime.
Is that their drink?
Yeah. Which
is it the one with all the little flavors?
There's a bunch of flavors.
Like Swedish Fish or whatever?
I don't know if they're Swedish Fish, but there is like the you know the red, white, and blue like popsicle? Mm-hmm. There's that flavor, and then there's just like grape and lime and a bunch of those. But I try to sip. It's too sweet for me, but it's supposed to be like it's coconut water based, so good for hydration.
Is it protein?
I don't think it's protein.
Hydration drink. Ew,
yeah,
gross.
It's really sweet.
Your kids love it. Okay,
my kids love it. That's really all I know about any of them.
I don't love the Paul brothers, but that's fine. I don't have to.
You don't.
JP Morgan has banned ChatGPT in their offices.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people are probably saying, how do I open an account? What do you think people are asking?
That's what I was kind of wondering. Like, it's saying a lot of different places. And I could see, to me, like school districts banning it on school computers. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
That's what Hattie's school has already banned it.
Yeah. I mean, that totally makes sense. I do wonder, like...
Just when you're at the school, it's one of the blocked sites. You can't use it while you're at school.
While you're at school. So she can use it at home.
Yeah.
Or they were saying, like, even New York City has it blocked on all of their own devices. So, like, if you take my kids have, what is it, the Google Chrome or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Chromebooks.
Chromebook. If they take their Chromebook home, then it would also be blocked.
Yeah. Has Provo City
I don't know. I haven't tried, but...
I bet they have already.
It seems like it.
They already block like those math sites that you use to get help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does seem funny, like, and I think in the article at least they said that the reason for it was just that like sometimes it makes mistakes and can provide like misinformation, which does make sense to me. But also, what is the huge need for someone at Chase or JP Morgan to be using it? I don't know.
I mean, I've seen some really cool stuff coming out of TikTok this week of people who are creating decks and marketing material. Yeah. And like if you're looking at all of the mass layoffs, like McKinsey laid off a bunch of people, and they do business, what is it, management consulting. But there was a guy that I saw an article for where he's a teacher, and he's selling like presentation decks, making $3,000 a month, but he's just creating them on ChatGPT. Yeah. And
so it would be a time saver. Yeah.
There's this really cool way. Canva, Abby showed me this website called Canva. Have you gotten into it yet? Yeah. And it's just a way to create like a ton of assets really quickly. And there's a way now where you could be like, hey, search these quotes on ChatGPT, come up with enough quotes, and then you just upload them right into Canva. You could make hundreds of pieces of content in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, quick.
Yeah. So I don't know if maybe that's it, like presentation stuff. Or is it just like the historical, it only goes back 2 years?
Could be.
Or sorry, it only starts 2 years previously. So it only starts in 2021.
Right.
So nothing is like up to date too.
Yeah, there's a delay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know, it's fascinating.
I still have yet to use it.
You haven't?
I just keep like forgetting, and every time I'm sitting here, I'm like, I need to go home and like do something. I want to try it. I just haven't used it.
Yeah.
Make me something.
Okay, I'll send you some stuff.
I don't know what I need. That's the thing. I don't
do a recipe.
I know that's the only thing, but then I was just thinking like, how pathetic is my life if I'm using ChatGPT to like make a recipe?
Sorry. I didn't read this whole article that I sent you about Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt, and Angelina
I made my
Jolie.
sister read it in the car, and I felt bad after about 20 minutes. I told her she could stop, but there was part of it that I was
okay. So really fascinating article came out in Vox, where it talks about how Jennifer. I feel like it. How old are you, Abby? You're 20. You were a baby when this happened, because it was 20 years ago.
It was a thing. I mean, I do remember shirts. I remember Team Aniston.
Yeah.
Like, I remember it being such a polarizing thing. You were either one or you were another.
Yeah.
Reading through this article now made me realize where my general bias lays.
Okay. So what the article says is, at the time, the world assumed that Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston were married. At the same time, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt did Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
And it was pretty well publicized they were having an affair. And then he left Jennifer for Angelina.
Yes.
And then immediately they adopted a baby. Or maybe she had already adopted a baby.
She had Maddox.
Yeah. And then they adopted another baby fairly quickly. Then she had a bunch of kids. So in total, I think they have like 6 kids, her and Brad Pitt.
I think they have the 2 adopted, or maybe 3 adopted and then 3 natural. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And at the time, kind of the story was, first of all, it was Jennifer Aniston's job to keep Brad Pitt interested. And since Angelina turned his head, that was who do you side with on that? And then it became bigger, like, well, him and Jennifer never had babies, and him and Angelina are having babies. So then it became a thing of, where do you side with on children or not?
That was one of the things that was interesting in the article, because for years they kind of said, like, when are you having a baby? When Brad and Jennifer Aniston were still together. Mm-hmm. It was like, once they got married, everyone was just kind of waiting, it felt like, until then. And it never happened. And then when this transition happened, where he was then with Angelina Jolie and they have these kids and this family, then all of a sudden it was like Jennifer Aniston chose her career.
Yeah.
But that was what was interesting in the article, is that I guess she's recently come out and said she's struggled with fertility.
Like the whole time she was struggling with fertility.
And so it's like that part really, I just was like, my stomach just dropped, because I was like, can you imagine just the position these people are in, where it's like everyone has a comment on everything you do anyway. And I'm sure you just get used to ignoring that or whatever. But to be like having this extremely emotional and private trial or ordeal, or like something that you really truly want, supposedly, and you're not able to do that for whatever reason, and then this happens, and it's like they flip this into like, oh, well, you were just like, you chose your career instead.
Yeah.
Like you know.
No wonder he left you.
Yeah. But there was a quote.
It also puts women in boxes in a way that we don't put men in boxes.
I think so too. And that's kind of what it was saying, is like, where's Brad in all this?
Right.
Like we were pitting these women against each other, but like letting him just act as if somehow he deserved both of them and he was the prize to be won. Mm-hmm. Where it's no, you know.
He wasn't.
No.
And it didn't end well for him.
But it says, the moral of this story is, you can be a good woman, but if you're not a mother, your goodness is sad. You can be an unruly woman, but if you are seen mothering in public, your unruliness has been tamed, and we no longer have to worry about you.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like it's such a simplification, but at the same time, it rings true. Like,
well, yeah, and if you look at like, what do we remember about that time?
Yeah.
It's still kind of what this article brought up. Yeah.
Also, I didn't know that there was still stuff going on between in like the divorce stuff. Did you get to that part?
Mm-hmm.
Like
even the allegations against him.
Yeah, and now Angelina, I guess like he wanted her to sign an NDA saying that she wouldn't discuss what happened on the plane. Mm-hmm. And that was part of like the sale of her shares to him of a vineyard that they owned together. And she said no, that she wouldn't sign that. And so he was like, fine. And so she went above his head and sold them to someone else. He's pissed. he's filed a suit. She's filed a suit, but basically now she's like, okay, well, I have no reason not to tell anyone. And
he had just gotten aggressive with their kids, right?
With the kids, and like she was asleep and like poured a bottle of beer over her, and like Maddox was trying to like protect her, and he was rough with. None of us were there. It's her side. We have yet. I don't know that he's really like come out with his side, but you never know.
Now
it sounds like it was whatever happened. It was not a good situation.
Yeah, and now it has now he has like a 28-year-old girlfriend.
He does. I haven't even looked.
Yes.
I mean, he's hot.
He is hot.
That doesn't excuse anything that he's done.
No, and he was a villain in all of this.
Yeah.
If you want, and actually we don't know.
I think honestly they're both amazing women.
Mm-hmm.
I think very smart in their own way, very like business savvy.
Yeah.
Both kind of in like a quiet and unassuming way. You know? Yeah. Neither of them are extremely like loud and in your face, and he was lucky to have either one of them at any time in his life. But
yeah, exactly. It's a big article, so if you're interested, go see it.
We can post a link, but it was an interesting read, but it's really long.
Really long. Okay, I don't actually know who's coming up on the podcast this week, so let's decide that. Well, tomorrow...
This is fun, interactive.
I know, it's happening on the fly. Tomorrow we have, Abby and I are going to do a February roundup where we talk about the month.
What happened in Feb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I think we have, let me look. We have Edgar coming up on Wednesday.
Tell me about Edgar. Who is this?
Oh my gosh, Edgar is so fun. He started a company called Dree Laundry, actually. If you look in the corner, that thing, I'm going to give it to you. Oh, it's the gig economy for laundry. It's like a Uber for laundry.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
What?
So you leave your laundry out. Someone in your neighborhood or in your community picks it up. You give them instructions. They drop it off. If you like the way that they do it, then you just start honing in on the best way to do it.
Laundry is
Is that your thing?
I mean, I'm bad at a lot of things. I'm not a natural homemaker. It doesn't come easy to me. I'm a good nurturer. My kids really know that I care about them, but the tasks are hard for me to complete. But laundry is one that it's like really difficult for me to stay on top of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't come naturally.
So he brought me that. I actually like doing laundry, so I told him, I was like, I don't think I'll use it, but I'll give it to you. It's a free bag.
I'm down to use it.
So you get your first use free. So you use it, and then you let us know.
Okay, I will. Thank you, Edgar.
Thank you, Edgar. And then I believe we are going to do Lily from the Sports-ish on Thursday.
Oh, fun. From when she was here over the weekend.
Yeah, when she was here, and she tried to convince me that one of my boyfriends was short.
One of your hockey boyfriends?
One of my sports boyfriends in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was wrong, by the way, and I called her out on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what we have. And then I think that's it for this week. Yeah. Are you reading any good books?
I'm reading a book that I like, yes.
What's it called?
I tried to start Throne of Glass 2. I can't even remember what it's called. In the car with my sister as we were, but it wasn't really fair to make her listen to the second one.
Sure.
Like I tried to give her
some context,
but then I kept being like, so finally after like an hour, I just turned it off. But currently I'm reading, let me find it. The Wrong Game.
What's it about?
A woman who has season tickets to the Chicago Bears, and her she's trying to get over a past relationship, and so her premise is just that she's going to take like a new Tinder guy to each game.
Oh my gosh, that actually sounds fun.
Yeah, and doesn't work out the way she wants it to. It never does. But so far it's like it's easy, it's light, it's good to get through. I mean, it's easy to get through, and it's kind of just like a palate cleanser, but it's not a bad one, which is fun. Like sometimes they're just like, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes you're like, I'm reading this, but I don't know why.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Yeah, this one feels like fun and
okay.
Yeah.
I might give it a try.
What about you?
None. Working on Sarah J.
Nothing.
Maas. Crown of Midnight is one we're working on that we can't remember. And then I'm also reading at the gym Clayton Christensen's How Will You Measure Your Life? Yeah. It's pretty good.
Davis is watching...
You mean Kim's husband?
Yeah, sorry. My husband texted Susan and I in a group text and was like, I'm so glad to be
Kim's husband.
Kim's husband.
Yes,
so that's what he is from now on.
Yes, Kim's husband.
He started watching The Watcher on Netflix. It's suspenseful.
With Henry Cavill.
Is it Cavill? It's not.
No.
It's, what's his name?
I thought it was him.
At least I haven't seen him in it. I don't know. I haven't watched all the episodes. But Jennifer Coolidge is in it. She plays a real estate agent. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was the
the
fantasy,
Witcher.
The Witcher.
Yeah, no,
okay.
The Watcher.
Bobby Cannavale.
Yeah.
Naomi Watts is in it.
Yeah, it's suspenseful.
Is it good?
But it's good. I'm into it, and I just watched maybe 20 minutes of it when I got home between driving in here and I keep thinking I'm ready to go watch more.
Okay. I haven't really watched anything except for I did start Full Swing.
What's Full Swing?
It's the PGA
the
Netflix.
Yeah, docuseries.
But I listened to the new season of Cold on podcast. Season 3 of Cold just came out.
What's this one about?
Another Utah unsolved woman that got killed by either her husband or her boyfriend.
Cool.
Yeah. Sheree Watson, I think is her name. It's very good. His second season was not that good, which I think sometimes happens when you come out with your freshman.
When you have a really big first season,
it's
hard to...
Yeah, it's hard to do it for the second season.
Yeah.
But if you're into true crime, I blazed through it. You know, his podcast is one you can listen to at 2x speed.
Yeah.
I hope when you listen to this cherry pick or even any of my podcasts, you're listening at 1.25.
Yeah, no one's got time to listen to us at 1.0.
Yeah, you could even do 1.5 or 2, whatever. We're not going to be mad.
Yeah.
But some podcasts go too fast at 2, but his is really good at 2. And I'm really interested in the Murdoch trials.
Murdaugh.
No,
right?
no, it's Murdoch.
Wait,
it's spelled Murdaugh.
But
in the South, in that community, it's Murdoch.
Okay, that's good to know.
And the dad, it's Alex, but it's Alec.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't watched that docuseries.
No, but I've been following the trial closely. Do you think he's going to get convicted?
I don't know, because I only started following it when my sister and I were talking about it on the way down to Las Vegas, which we had a lot of time, and honestly, we were 3 hours in, and we're like, wait, why didn't we fly from Provo to Vegas? This was so dumb.
Did they have flights that day?
Yeah. We just literally wasted 8 hours, but it was fun. When did we get 5 hours in the car together? It was fun.
Yeah, it's fun if it's, yeah.
No. But so she was telling me all about it, and then I got home and I was talking to my husband about it, and they both watched the series, and Davis was like, he's like, he feels like the docuseries is very one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it's the most one-sided docuseries I've ever watched, or documentary I've ever watched. But he's like, I could very well see it being the dad. My sister's convinced it's Alec.
Alec. Mm-hmm.
Davis is saying he thinks it most likely is, but he could see it being someone else that's like...
Yeah, the timeline is just too tight.
It's too tight. It seems too tight.
Seconds.
Yeah.
That he's all of a sudden not there and they get shot.
Well, and there's so many weird things where it's like, he says he did this, but he actually just sat in his car, and they can tell because this is the craziest stuff that I've never thought about, is that it can tell that you didn't take steps out of your car because your phone didn't move and your watch didn't move. Or
yes.
I forget that my car alerts me every time I park and updates my location.
Right.
We can't get away with anything.
No, that's the interesting part about the Cold podcast is he's dealing with stuff from the 80s.
Right.
Which...
It's just different.
You can...
Things were...
it starts out, this guy's making prank calls.
Oh my gosh. You can't even prank call people anymore.
You cannot prank call, because he would call people on their home phone.
My daughter, Jane, my sweet 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Was prank calling on her cell phone to people, contacts she had in her phone, and then would just like use an accent. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like, you think anyone? And she was like, yeah, I mean, I was using a British accent. Her uncle Brent had no idea who it was. I'm like, yeah, he just thought it was normal that a phone call was coming in from you and then a really terrible British accent was speaking to you. Like, come on.
Jane.
But yes, you can't, I don't know. It's easier to get away with things back then.
Yeah, I mean, the Washington State murder, Brian Koberger.
Yeah.
Like, he has said, his lawyer said he's going to be arraigned. Like, they think he's going to be exonerated. And it's just like your digital footprint's not lying.
Yeah.
That's why if I die, Kim, burn it all.
If I die, the first thing I would like you to do is go in and like clear out my Kindle library so my kids never see that.
Yeah, just smash it.
Yeah. It's just not.
And
not
then
there.
just to be safe, call Amazon and get my account deactivated.
Exactly. I can't have a trace.
It's impossible to not have a digital footprint.
It really is. My sister did text me, though, this week and was like, just so you know, I've done all the DNA tests, so your DNA is out there, whether you want it to be or not.
Shoot.
I was like, well, thanks for really
Because Kim was like,
there.
I don't want my DNA tested. Not because she's ever committed a crime or not because she's worried about a paternity. No, she just doesn't want it out there.
I just feel like it feels like an insurance policy to just keep my DNA to myself. But
if one person in your family does it, then you're out there.
Yeah, we're out, I guess.
Well, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Kim.
This was fun.
See you.
Bye.